The crew deck. See if there's any people to talk to, and maybe there may also be some more models to find here. And there's also this, the memorial wall, containing the names of everyone who has died in service thus far. I think it also includes all of the crew members that died when the Normandy SR-1 was destroyed. Not all of whom we actually had names for, so not all of the names on this board are familiar. If any of your squad mates died during the suicide mission in Mass Effect 2, they also appear on this list. But for me, unfortunately, none did. Let's see, we have, I think it's actually horizontally alphabetized, but it's kind of hard to read, so I'll do it by column. Abhishek Pakti, Alexei Dubyansky, Carlton Tux, Charles Presley, we know him of course, our old navigator, Harvey J. Gladstone, Helen M. Lowe, Caden Alenko, died on Vermeer, Marcus Greco, Oron Laflamme, I think that's what it says, or maybe Orden Laflamme, a bit hard to see. Richard L. Jenkins, who ran into some drone fire 5 minutes into the game. Rosamund Draven, Telifa Draven, Addison Chase, Amina Waberi, Caroline Granado, Jermaine Serrett, Hector Emerson, Jamin Bakari, Mandira Rahman, Monica Negalesco, Raymond Tanaka, Robert Falawa, and Silas Crosby. Well, let's hope we can limit the number of people we have to add to this list during the game. On this side, the starboard observation deck, Samara's old haunt, currently empty, although we can actually access it, which in the previous game we couldn't until they were actually occupied. But since people move around, like I said, we will find different people here over the course of the game. Crew quarters. Seems the windows into the engine room have been closed off. Not really sure why they would do that. Currently it doesn't look like there's anybody we can talk to. And now we're just prevented from going into the women's toilets instead of having Edie berate us for doing so. We can still go into the men's toilets though. We can't flush those, unlike the ones in our quarters. And again, you have to be really good friends to take a shower here with 3 people at the same time. Life support, Fane's old room. Also currently empty, but a model of the Destiny Ascension. And the port observation deck, Kasumi's old room, seems to have been significantly renovated. Ooh, we've got a poker table. Well, I did tell Jacob that the next Normandy would get a lounge. And it seems we got, at least expanded the one we had. Some kind of VR thing, I guess. Nobody's using it. And a bar, but we can't mix drinks here, like we could in Mass Effect 2. And we also can't close the armor plating. But again, there's no one there right now. The mess hall. Nobody is currently hanging out here that we know or can talk to. Master Sergeant Gardner also missing. So I guess we have to cook our own meals now. The fridge. Where are these icons? What? Don't put guns in the fridge? Why would anyone do that in the first place? And that looks like the head of a Turian. I guess don't put dextro-amino food in the fridge. That seems to make sense. Let's check out Liara's cabin, which is on this side according to the map. Of course, used to be Miranda's quarters.
Commander Shepard, it's a pleasure to see you again.
You're the drone from the Shadow Broker's ship.
Oh,
Dr.
God.
Tassoni now refers to me as Glyph instead of Info Drone, 95% of the time. If you have a moment, I'd like to draw your attention to a terminal in her office. It analyzes information packages. If you find any useful data, I can research upgrades for you.
And what should I be looking for?
I'll inform you if you've found relevant data. When you do, return to this terminal for your choices. In the meantime, Dr. Tassoni would like to speak with you. Have a pleasant day.
Do we have to have this thing on board?
Council didn't go too well, huh?
It was less than ideal.
I'm shocked.
At least the Council can't deny the Reapers exist. But I'm not sure how much comfort that is while they bicker over which portion of the galaxy to save.
Wow. Becoming the big info brokers turned you into a real cynic, Liara. I like it.
I'm flattered, I think.
Like I said, there's more interaction between the squad mates. Sometimes they hang out in the same place together, sometimes they talk over the comm, like now. And again, this is something I really like. I mean, for example, Tali and Jack both hung out in engineering in the previous game, and we know that they both hate Cerberus, but as far as we know, they never interacted. We have no idea how the squad mates in the previous game really felt about each other, because they never really talked to each other outside of a couple of lines during missions. So, it's nice that now we actually get some dialogue between the characters. I really like that, how they did that.
Looks like you brought more than just that drone from your ship.
A few things were necessary. I'd be a very silent shadow broker without data feeds.
So you have access to your resources?
What I can get. We'll need it to research this Prothean device. Until we understand precisely what it does, it's far too dangerous to use.
Did the Protheans actually complete this weapon?
You mean, will it work? They wouldn't have poured their last resources into this device if they thought otherwise. But we really need to find out just what kind of weapon they left us.
But what if they got the plans from the previous cycle and were just pouring resources into it because they had the same reasoning? That they thought the previous cycle wouldn't have poured resources into it if they didn't believe it would work. For all we know, every single cycle has tried to build this thing and failed.
It'd be nice to know we're not kids playing around with a loaded gun.
Absolutely. The damage it could cause if it backfired is unthinkable. This will be difficult even for us. If something happens on a mission, if either one of us are hurt. Shepard, there's something I need to ask before we go any further. I know you and Tali grew close. Is that in the past? Should I forget there was anything between us?
I'm sorry, Liara, but that ship has sailed, sunk, and James Cameron made a movie about it.
A lot has happened since then, Liara. I don't think we'd work anymore.
Really? Thank you for letting me know.
I think it's best for both of us.
Of course. Well, anyway, I should get down to business. There's a lot to do if we're to discover exactly what the Protheans left us.
Stop making me feel guilty! I really am sorry, Liara. I wish things were different, but my heart lies with Tali. Even though we don't even know where she is, or if we'll see her again in this game. But it would be kind of the height of being mean to first cheat on Liara with Tali and then go back to Liara. I'm kind of surprised she would even take me back after that. Anything more?
Hello again, Shepard.
How much do you know about this Prothean artifact?
Very little. We're fortunate enough Data survived to piece together the blueprints. Decoding them will require as many specialists as we can find.
It's that high-tech?
I'd have killed for a glimpse of it during graduate school.
You brought your little helper with you?
Its name is Glyph. It helped sort through all the data that led me to the archive on Mars.
It was a pleasure to be of assistance, Doctor.
Glyph's interfaced with the data feeds. Its analytical software should come in handy.
Yeah, and there's a really awkward glitch here, is that Shepard keeps looking in the direction where Glyph was, and is now talking with Liara without looking at her.
What's been happening with you as the broker, Liara?
It's been exciting. The old broker's ship, impressive, but it was never meant to be space-worthy. Which meant the elusive man eventually tracked me down on Hagalaz.
What happened?
I knew he was coming. Farron and I loaded as much of the ship's specialized hardware onto a shuttle as we could. We got away from Cerberus' ships after arranging an appropriate distraction.
What kind of distraction?
Sending the broker's ship exploding into a Cerberus cruiser. I don't think the elusive man expected me to give up my resources in such a spectacular fashion.
Can you still operate as the broker without the ship?
Well, I couldn't let the elusive man have it. I saved what was crucial. My network of agents is intact, although the Reapers have taken a toll on their numbers. It's taking a while to re-establish contact.
So where is Farron if you two escaped?
He convinced me he was recovered enough to work, and I do need more agents.
Agent Farron didn't report any injuries during his last call to you, Doctor.
True. Given what he survived, I should probably worry less.
And we're still looking at Glyph.
What have you been up to since we last saw each other?
Since you helped me defeat the Shadow Broker, I started looking for defenses against the Reapers. The Protheans were the only ones with substantial information on them. The older civilizations barely had records. I knew the elusive man was hunting for the same thing when our agents began crossing paths.
Like on Mars?
I thought I'd covered my tracks, but he had surveillance there all along.
We'll talk later, Liara.
Of course.
Okay, that was awkward. Thanks to Glyph. Well, at least I hope that Liara and I can still be friends. She seemed okay with it back in Lair of the Shadow Broker, but who knows? Let's check this, the broker terminal.
This terminal contains non-essential correspondence from your allied forces. Dr. Tassoni has granted you access.
That was nice of her. Prothean notes, 2171 to 2185. Glyph, remind me to clean up these old notes. Perhaps reviewing them will lead to something useful for the Prothean device. Liara. It's just some stuff about the Protheans from Liara, it seems. 2171. The University of Ceres agreed to sponsor me at the Prothean Dig on Dretarop. Very exciting. Professor Hennel is heading the expedition herself. Maybe I can even ask for her opinion on my thesis outline. Attachment. Thesis on Prothean First Contact Protocols. 2174. I believe Dr. Joshan was right to suggest the Prothean artifacts we unearthed are from the Third Age, not the Fourth. What an embarrassing mistake. At least he seemed to approve of the rest of the paper. Attachment. Paper on a comparison of Prothean technology to modern Asari circuit logic. 2183, Part 1. I'm going on the Ferrum expedition. I never thought I'd gain permission to visit the Prothean ruins there, but the University of Ceres must have secured the funding after all. Now to pack. Attachment. Paper on the end of the Prothean Empire. Ferrum is where we first met Liara. 2183, Part 2. Goddess. This human, Shepard, has the key to comprehending the Protheans on an instinctual, subconscious level. If only I could have been there when the commander touched the beacon on Eden Prime. I'll try to learn more about the cipher on board the Normandy. The involvement of the Reapers is troubling, to say the least. Attachment, paper on the end of the Prothean Empire with correction notes. 2185. I reviewed the old Shadow Broker's footage of the Collectors. It's chilling to know they're the Prothean's husks. At least nothing sentient could possibly remain after what the Reapers did to them. Attachment, paper on Prothean biology. Oh, I don't think these notes are really going to help us much with the Prothean device, but it was kind of interesting. Message from Operative Farron to the broker. Wonder how Farron is doing. Farron was the guy who helped Liara recover Shepard's body from the Shadow Broker and was captured by the Shadow Broker, and we rescued him during the Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC in the previous game. I made contact with Tazik yesterday. The look on his face was priceless. He's not happy you put me in charge of scouting the Terminus systems, but he's doing a good job of keeping us alive. I've never seen so many pirates and mercs on edge. The black market's unreliable, and it's getting harder to make contact with suppliers. The Alliance won't be able to rely on it as a source of crucible materials for long if things get worse. Some of the other operatives think we should cut our losses now, but I just keep asking them, when did the odds ever stop the broker? Farron. P.S. I hope you finally got our little friend Droney to stop saying Shadow and Broker out loud in the same sentence to anyone inside. Hey, Droney was the name of my combat drone, not Glyph. I guess Farron is just as imaginative in naming things as I am. And there's the Intel terminal, which Glyph told us about. And we already found some intel somewhere, apparently from Farron. Armor mod kit. Farron has persuaded his contacts to ship an armor mod kit to the Normandy. Technically illegal in Citadel space, the kit's Omnigel converter and manufacturing fabricator can make a one-time modification to Shepard's armor, improving shield strength or adding thermal clip compartments. So basically, whenever we find intel, you can go to the terminal and get an upgrade. It kind of replaces the old research upgrades in some ways. So we can choose ammo capacity bonus or shield strength bonus in this case. You can only choose one of them. And I think I'll go for shield strength. I always prefer to live longer. They never cost any money, so I don't know why that's even there. And we can't do any other upgrades. This is just to show you what upgrades you currently have. So we get 5% extra shields, which is nice. None. Nice that that's a button that does nothing. Okay, moving on.
Please, enjoy your day.
Up yours. Gunnery down here. Garrus's old haunt. Currently empty. Since we're heading to Palaven, the Turian homeworld, I wonder if we'll run into our old friend there. Would certainly be welcome, but then again, Palaven is big, so who knows? Then again, last time we went to Tachanka, we almost immediately ran into Rex, so... And Charquis has settled in, as she said in the message on the datapad.
Commander?
Everything okay down here, Doctor?
The Alliance team cleaned up and restocked, but it's still my old medbay. Feels like home.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Let's waste no time. If I may, I'd like to examine you.
Nothing wrong with me, is there?
No, but we should keep an eye on all those cybernetic implants Cerberus grafted into you.
Expensive stuff bringing me back.
And worth every penny. Let's just make sure everything is okay.
Guess a checkup never hurts. Just no scalpel this time, Doc.
Alas, to my great disappointment, it is nothing invasive. I'm just going to run some diagnostics on your implants, and it'll take a few readings. The procedure we did for your scarring has produced a lovely synthetic protein overlay. And your body has accepted the implants quite nicely.
It had better. Sure didn't come cheap.
That's it. You're the picture of health.
If you didn't use the scar remover in the previous game, your scars will be reset in this game anyway, but if you go to Renegade Path, you will get them back. Since I did use the procedure, there's no way for me to get scars, regardless of how many Renegade decisions I take. And if you didn't take it, you will get the opportunity to do it again in this game later.
How's our inventory of meds?
The medbay was fully stocked before you left Earth. We should be good for a long time, even given the amount of fire you take each day.
Well, thank goodness for small miracles.
Do you ever regret working for Cerberus?
We didn't work for them. We used them. If I were to feel anything, it would be guilt. We took their money, took their best people, took their best ship. We used them to defeat the Collectors, and now we are using their resources against them. So no, I don't regret it one bit.
Yeah, well, don't expect me to feel sorry for them.
You've never mentioned any of your family.
None to speak of, really. I'm the last of a prestigious line of medical professionals. The Alliance is my spouse, and you're all my children. I'm blessed with many close friends. But with each Alliance vessel taken, I lose one or two. We need to end this war.
Easier said than done, I'm afraid.
I'll see you around, Doctor.
Take care, Shepard.
One of the other things you can do on this in the sickbay is you can choose a new bonus power, which I have no intention of doing. And you can also reset your powers and the powers of your squad mates, which you can do for free once. After that it will start costing money. And like I said, I want to reset Shepard's power to fix the overload evolution and also get the point from cryo back, because I don't use cryo. See, next time I want to do that, it would cost 5,000 credits, but I'm probably not going to do it again. And now I get to re-level up everything from the beginning. So, the most important thing is overload at this point, where I want to pick chain overload, hit one additional target within 8 meters with 60% less damage. One of the main reasons I did this, because although increased damage is useful against shields, this makes it an incredibly useful crowd control ability, which I really like doing that. It's very, very useful. And I'm going to take this to level 5 now. And I'm going to pick Neural Shock, incapacitate weaker organic enemies for a short duration, making this more useful against organics. The other one is increased recharge speed, which is also nice, but this is more important. Okay, we'll leave it at that for the moment. Incinerate. I'm gonna take it to level 3 at least. I'll see how many points I have left later. Combat drone. I really like my drone, and I like it to survive a bit, so I'm gonna take that to level 4. Increase its shields. The other one was the explosive drone, which I already explained. Sabotage is something I might put points in if I have some left at the end. Not for now, though. I'm at the very least going to take Sentry Turret to level 3. Oh, and it does that sometimes. I just wanted to get out of the detail screen, and it took me completely out of the screen. Tech Mastery, my passive, has to go to level 3 at the very least. What's the next one? Duration or power damage? I think I had it on power damage. And I think I will put it there again. Fitness, very important, of course. And I want health and shield bonuses, not melee. Let's see, I have 16 points left. I also want to put some points in warp ammo, although I do not consider that to be the most important one. I'll take that to 3. Let's see. And with the remaining points, I'm gonna do Incinerate. Increase damage. And let's put some more shields and damage on my sentry turret. The other option there is the shock attack to stun enemies. Also useful, but again, I prefer having the turret just survive a little bit longer. So I don't have to worry about it as much. 2 points left, but I'm not going to do anything with them. I'm going to wait until I level up further so I get enough points to choose some of the other higher ranks of the other powers. Okay, and that is more to my liking than the previous layout. Let's see, the AI core. And it seems that we've put Dr. Eva Corey's body here. Why do we keep putting dangerous robots in the AI core? This is not a good idea. Almost went wrong with Legion. So why are we repeating that mistake? Okay, let's move on to deck 4, the engineering deck. Where currently we can find Adams and Diana Ellers. I suppose Adams is in engineering proper. Yes, there he is. Tali's old workstation. She's of course not currently on board, obviously. And Ken and Gabby's old workstation on this side. I wonder what happened to them. Hopefully we'll find out.
Commander, welcome back to the Normandy. Or maybe you should be saying that to me.
Maybe I should.
Engineer Adams, what are you doing here?
I was put in charge of the drive core retrofits. My experience on the Normandy SR-1 made me an obvious choice.
So, what do you think of our SR-2?
She's incredible. If there's one nice thing I can say about Cerberus, it's that they know how to build a ship. And about that, Cerberus, I mean, I owe you an apology.
How so?
Back when you got this ship, Dr. Chalk was contacting me, asking me to help with your mission against the Collectors. I refused. I didn't have your back, and I'm sorry for that.
Why didn't you join us?
I saw what happened to you when the Normandy went down. I didn't trust that it was really you, and I certainly didn't trust Cerberus. Also, as an officer of the Alliance, I don't just leave my post, you know?
Your Alliance first. That's the way it should be.
Thank you, Commander. Glad to be aboard.
I guess it would have been helpful to have him around, but I can understand his hesitations.
Is your family okay?
My parents are serving on Viridian Zenith, an Alliance agricultural vessel. My sister is a navigator on the SSV Benjamin Davis. Happy to report that both vessels are safely under Hackett's command.
Well, let's hope it stays that way.
Does the new Normandy stack up to the old SR-1?
Stack up. It blows the old ship away. The Tantalus drive core has been completely overhauled. The SR-2 might be nearly twice the size, but the new drive core is 3 times bigger. This ship can fly. That said, Cerberus isn't too high on safety. If pushed past her limits, this core would vent into engineering. Guess it gives my team incentive to keep her well balanced during a firefight.
Do your job or get vaporized.
Pretty much. I noticed you upgraded the kinetic barriers with cyclonic technology. Should help reduce the draw when under missile fire.
Hopefully that means fewer vaporized engineers.
The IES stealth system is significantly improved. It can handle a higher blue shift of our emissions.
And that means?
We should be able to drop out of FTL without triggering every sensor in range. Very handy for stealth reconnaissance. All in all, the Normandy is a marvel of engineering.
Glad to hear it.
What do you think of Edie?
We had a good talk during the retrofit. A little strange at first, talking shop with an AI.
AI? I thought Edie posed as a VI to keep the likes of you from unplugging her.
Yeah, but I saw through her. Have you seen her hardware? Processing power is off the charts. And then there were the problems that kept fixing themselves. If I hadn't had her pegged, I would have sworn I was losing it.
You never expressed any skepticism, Lieutenant Adams.
I figured I'd better play it safe with the Cerberus AI, Edie. No offense.
None taken. As long as you keep your fingers out of my cognizance processors.
In the beginning, I tried disconnecting her from key processes without giving myself away. Easier said than done. But Joker seemed to trust her, and in time I saw her advantages. Even grew to like her.
Good, because I guess you'll have to work with her.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, sir.
Alright. Drive core down here. We really do need Tali back. Engineering is not the same without her. And I think there are some more models to find around here somewhere. Of course, the question is where? Well, there, for example. Turian cruiser. And a shadow broker ship. And Sovereign. 3 of them. Wait, what the hell? My hamster! The space hamster! Is running around here. We have to catch him. Which can... Ah, got him. Sometimes it really takes me very long to do that. We got the hamster! It survived! Somehow. Well, we've got the most important part of our quarters back. Good old space hamster. Glad he is okay. Let's see. Liara Allers is holed up here in Zaid's old room. Let's see what she's doing.
How's your new assignment working out, Allers?
Fairly normal, except for the unshackled AI, Matriarch Benezia's daughter, and the communicator that can reach Earth. The first 2, I can deal with. That last one gets my attention.
So what are you asking for, exactly?
Anything from Earth is the lead story right now. That's not opinion, it's fact.
Maybe I can pass on a few non-classified progress updates.
Seriously? You just doubled my ratings. I don't need FaceTime, just a data upload.
Tell people what's really happening on Earth. We need long recruiting lines on every planet after you air a story.
I can do this, Commander. Remind me to tell you about the time I made an Elcor cry.
Now, by itself, that wouldn't be so impressive. But if it was the Elcor with the cigar from Mass Effect 2, then that you would be gold in my book if you managed to do that. But I doubt it.
Commander.
You get various opportunities over the course of the game to kick her off the ship if you want to. But we'll see how it works out. And it seems that Grunt's old room is currently closed. Can't see into it either. Not really, anyway. And, in the cargo deck, our shuttle bay is actually accessible this time. And there are a number of things here, including someone called Lieutenant Cortez. Let's see what part he plays in all this.
Lieutenant Steve Cortez, shuttle pilot. Got news about our supply chains, Commander.
Nice to meet you, Lieutenant. What's going on?
Sorry to just jump in, Commander. There's so much to be done, I get caught up in the tasks at hand.
He's always like that. You need to chill out, Esteban.
So you do care, Mr. Vega? Or is that the Cerveza talking again?
So what's happening with our supply chains, Lieutenant?
Alliance procurement chains are in chaos, but the Citadel's economy is still running. I can network to Citadel retailers. You can view inventory and make purchases right from this console.
When I network to a new store, I'll let you know.
It does cost more to coordinate delivery to the Normandy, so it's cheaper to buy supplies when you're there.
So you're my shuttle pilot, but you're setting up procurement chains?
I wasn't assigned as Normandy's pilot. Not much need for one on a dry dock ship. I was overseeing the retrofit of the cargo hold. I'm quite familiar with the operation and maintenance of the UT-47 Kodiak and the M44 Hammerhead. In my experience, it made sense for me to take over as shuttle pilot when we left Earth. Especially given Mr. Vega's love of mid-air collisions.
To save the day, pendejo.
I'm also responsible for logistics, making sure the armory and shuttle are properly stocked and maintained.
Do you maintain this armory?
I share that duty with our illustrious Mr. Vega. Though I believe the only weapon he really cares to maintain is himself.
You know you love the show, Esteban.
The first retrofit we did was to move the armory down from Deck 2. I'm not sure what Cerberus engineers were thinking. Now you get off the elevator, pick your gear, and head right into the shuttle.
Just like the original Normandy.
Welcome back to the Alliance, Commander.
I guess that layout does make more sense.
How long have you been with the Alliance?
About 10 years. I enlisted in First Fleet serving on the SSV Hawking, flying F-61 Tridents mostly. I love the Trident. Practically dances in low atmo. I spent as much time tinkering on my bird as flying her. Got a bit of a reputation.
So, you can fly fighters and fix them.
Yeah, and I got a knack for procurement too. They were grooming me for CAG, but my skill set made me more valuable commanding a flight deck. They assigned me to the Normandy retrofit team about 5 months ago to oversee all cargo bay modifications.
What happened to the M44 Hammerhead?
It was sent to the tech labs for a retrofit. To afford mobility with such a small ESO core, its design sacrificed armor plating. The lab engineers are trying to improve that. After the Reaper invasion, those labs are probably just a pile of rubble.
So no vehicle at the moment. Maybe a future DLC will add one.
The Kodiak seems a bit different.
Good eyes, Commander. This is the UT-47A Kodiak. It's got an upgraded ESO core and prototype stealth technology based on the Normandy design. For quick drops, I can get you in and out virtually undetected. She flies like a brick, so that's why you need a good pilot.
You were stationed on Earth. Do you have family there?
I'm an only child. Lost my parents years ago. I had a husband back when I was stationed at Ferris Fields. The collectors took out the whole colony. I'd rather not talk about it.
I'm sorry to hear that. Too bad we couldn't stop the collectors before that happened.
Keep up the hard work, but don't kill yourself.
Yes, Commander.
Okay. Well, he seems nice enough. Another armor locker here. Same as in our quarters. Procurement interface allows you to buy the same stuff you can also buy on the Citadel, including some shops we haven't visited yet. And the Spectre terminal as well, but everything is more expensive here, so I won't really be using this. Not that much trouble to fly back to the Citadel to make a purchase. On this side we have weapon upgrades. For some reason I completely missed this terminal the first time I played the game. I kind of thought that, oh, you can buy the same things as on the Citadel on this one, so this probably is also the same thing you get elsewhere. Or something, I don't really remember what, but I did miss this terminal, so I never upgraded my weapons on the first time through. Basically this just improves your weapons, which gives you improved weapon damage, ammo capacity and weight. Some of the costs of these upgrades are fairly high, however, and since we will be replacing most of these weapons with better ones later, I do not want to spend too much money upgrading the basic weapons. So, for the time being, we'll leave that be. I'll decide how to deal with that later. And of course there's also a weapon bench here, so you can change your loadout, although only your own loadout for the moment. Got a new assault rifle apparently. We had a Vindicator which we picked up. We didn't get any new mods yet, so that's kind of pointless. Let's talk to Mr. Vega over here.
Hey, Shepard. How'd it go with the council?
Same as usual. Non-committal. Unhelpful.
Bet they still wanted you to help them out, no?
Yeah. We're gonna rescue a Turian Primarch from Paladin.
Sounds like fun. Never been to the Turian homeworld. You down here for a reason?
Just came down to talk.
Great. Not sure what there is to talk about. You already know my service record.
I don't, actually. I didn't have access to personnel records when we met.
Right. Forgot about that. Well... Think you can dance and talk at the same time?
I think I can handle it.
Okay, loco. Let's dance.
Don't push your luck, Vega. With age comes wisdom. And rank.
Ha! You sound like my old CO.
Oh yeah? And who was that?
Captain Tony. He was a hard-ass son of a bitch, but a good leader. Nice.
What do you mean, was?
Died. With most of my squad. Protecting a civilian colony from a collector attack.
And the colony?
It was either them, or the intel we had on the collectors. Intel we could have used to destroy them. I chose the intel.
Sorry. That's a tough call.
The best part was, we didn't really need the intel in the end. Because you were out saving the galaxy by taking down the entire collector homeworld.
You didn't know. You can't blame yourself, Vega.
Who says I'm blaming myself?
I do.
You a shrink too?
Nope. But that stunt back on Mars was reckless. You're lucky to be alive.
So?
So? Maybe you don't care if you live or die.
Or maybe... I'm just willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to end this goddamn war.
Maybe you are. But if you're half as good as I think you are, we need you alive.
Thanks for the pep talk.
Anytime.
Hey, thanks for the dance, loco.
Loco, huh?
I can think of worse things to call you.
Long as you remember who's in charge, you can call me whatever you want.
Oh, I won't forget.
Vega likes giving people nicknames. Well, I guess that's harmless enough.
Hey again. What's up?
Talk about more things.
What's with you and the nicknames?
It's just my way of remembering people. Some people just don't match their names, you know? So, I just give them a new one.
So, I'm a loco, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty crazy, but the shit you've done makes me look sane.
Okay, I guess.
You mentioned a mission you had against the Collectors. What happened?
Pretty much what I said. Things went foobar, and I was one of the few to make it out. If you want the rest of the story, you're gonna have to get me really drunk, or...
Or what?
That's about it. Sorry, Commander. Just not interested in talking about that. Next topic?
Do I want to clean up your face after that fight?
You had a hard time leaving Earth. You still want to head back?
Hell yeah. But I get it now. It's not where I'd be most useful. Not yet, anyway.
We'll get back there.
I know. And I'll do whatever it takes to get us there, Commander.
Maybe no more shuttle crashes.
No promises now that I've gotten the taste for it. Besides, I like to keep Esteban on his toes.
You got family back on Earth?
Yeah, an uncle. Retired military. Got a few cousins I haven't heard from in a while.
You and your uncle close?
Yeah. He was the reason I joined the Marines and was about the only good thing in my life after my mom died.
No dad?
He's there. Somewhere. But I'm not sure I'd call him family. Not anymore. I would like to find out how my uncle's doing, though.
I take it you and Lieutenant Cortez know each other.
Yeah, Esteban did a stint on Fel Prime where me and my squad were stationed. I caught up with him on Earth a few months back. He's a good guy. Just don't tell him I said so. It'd go to his head.
He might have heard you from here, though.
I'll talk to you later.
You bet.
Alright, let's look around a bit more.
Sounds like the Turians got hit pretty hard by the Reapers. So, the Turians want us to go find one of their politicians, huh? Nice to see we're being put to good use.
Well, if it gets us the help we need.
Well, maybe we'll get to kick some Reaper ass while rescuing the Primarch. Do you hear that hum? Is that just me?
No, I think that's pretty plainly audible. And that's one of his default nothing to say messages, so I know he has nothing else to talk about. He's got some weights here. But I already got the impression that Mr. Vega likes to work out. Also got a punching bag. And, predictably, there's models hidden down here. The Normandy SR-1. What are you two doing down here? Absolutely nothing. Anything else here? Doesn't look like it. But I think there are a couple more models to find, so...
Good to see you, Commander.
Our shuttle. An Alliance cruiser. And a Gav cruiser. Another table with some weapons. Not a table we can actually do anything with. A freighter. And there should be one more. Yes. Aquarian ship. I think that's it. Check my list. Yes, we found everything. Let's quickly head back to the captain's cabin and check out what we got. First and foremost, we've got the space hamster back in its proper space. I missed you too. And we got the primary display case, almost entirely full. Shadow Broker ship, which was just placed on the desk in Mass Effect 2, is now placed in the secondary case, and there's quite a lot of space for new models there as well. So already we got some of our personalization back, and all we need is some fish. And someone to feed them. Maybe we can get Kelly back for that. We actually got some new messages on the datapad. Let's take a look. We got a message from Alders. Getting fan mail from from Solarian space. A lot of I signed up because I heard about Earth. Every little bit counts. Well, I guess our request for help already paid off. And a message from James. Hey Loco, thanks for the practice. Let me know if you ever want a rematch. Rematch? I thought we won. Maybe you want a rematch. Alright, next up, time to go and do some missions.